No, I'm not. I'm going live right now, trying to get this
What do you got to do?
right. It's What's happening, Dolphins fans? We're here at another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I am your host, El Capitan. I got Mike on the mic on here with me, and Big Kev. I'm gonna bring him in now. Guys, it was a piss poor performance from the team, to say the least. It literally crumbled. The team got disheveled. There was penalties. There was, Tua. I've been a big defender of Tua from all the reasons that I agree with everyone about Tua's negativity or the lack thereof good parts about his game. And I have nothing to stand on him now. You know, I had always thought in my head that when the light shines brightest is when he'll step up, and that's not what happened today. He slipped right out of his small hands. I mean, everything with the ball, every ball he threw either sailed or was undershot. He wasn't on the page with Parker all day, and it looked like Parker was pissed. He was pissed. I don't know. Kev, what do you think, bud?
I mean, he had the one good throw.
He did.
To Waddle down the field. And we were texting, finally they took the shot, you know. But it's – unfortunately, they are who I thought they were. The old Dennis Green quote. They are. I mean, it's a team that we talked about yesterday. They're defensive minded, but we're very limited defensively because our linebackers got exposed big time today in the run game and in the pass game. At times it feels like we just can't get out of our own way. It's nonstop third and long, and it's just we're never going to be successful that way. It's just not going to happen.
Well, the running game, sorry, and by the way, guys, I'm a little sick, so pardon me, but the running game today, I didn't think it was half bad. I thought the O-line played decent. I thought we had some good holes, and then they just never –
They didn't stick with it. We threw the ball 3 times as much as
you can't run the ball when you're down 21.
No, I know that, bro. But they didn't even like implement it. It's a wet, rainy game. Yet the first 5 plays in a row, Tua dropped back to throw the ball. Why?
Well, and we talked about it yesterday. We pulled out all those trick plays. You know, Tennessee had to be chomping at the bit at that point because
the second they saw him, they were like, "It's over."
Yeah, it was just – and Tua, you know, all of us yesterday, we agreed. We were all in on Tua, but I think maybe some people may have misunderstood. We were all in on Tua because he's our quarterback right now.
You have to be.
Am I for maybe moving on from Tua? Yeah, man. If Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson become available, I'm not going to be mad if they go get one of those 3 guys after watching a game like today because, you know, you had said it yesterday, Chris. We were talking about just a minute ago how, you know, when the lights are on, Tua shines the brightest, but today he showed us different. And he had one chance. He had this game to go out and change the narrative, and it didn't happen.
Well, it didn't change the narrative for the whole team either. It just shows that we're a team that we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, and we lose the teams we're supposed to lose to.
Yeah, it's the saddest part because as Dolphin fans, we're all getting hyped. We're controlling our own destiny, and it seems like more of the same, where we're controlling our own destiny. Just take care of business, beat your ex. You know what I'm saying? Beat Tennessee, show Tannehill what's up, and what do? They get walloped. No touchdowns. Even Sanders missed a field goal. It was ugly on every aspect of the team. The linebackers got exposed. It was just
Big time.
It was a brutal beatdown, man. Brutal beatdown.
I just can't get the balls that kept sailing out of my head. Like, I thought Tua was better than that. I thought,
right.
And I want to say that he was hurt. I really do, but like, I can't get him out of my
What's
head.
up, Ty?
Hey, what up, Ty? It's literally like, just, that's all I can see after this game is over is the balls that just, if he had put them on the money, we were still in the game. He
was the guy I've seen the last couple of weeks. Where'd that guy go? Where'd the guy go that was putting darts in everyone? I mean, was it that wet? I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Competition ramped up. The competition ramped up. You're playing a playoff team. Proves that we're not at that level.
Yeah, yesterday
it's not there yet.
It's a measuring stick game, and we didn't measure up once again. And I'm sitting here watching with my buddy the Cowboys game on, and I'm hoping that maybe they can change their fortune because they've been just as bad as we have. But I'm tired as a Dolphins fan. I'm just tired of watching the same thing happen every year, late season. And it hurts. It just, we're sitting here wanting to talk about them and give our life to talking about this team, but they need to give us something to be hopeful for too. I'll still talk about them, but to give us something to talk about.
Yeah, that's for certain, man. There's something to talk about, and it's a whole lot of bad something. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just tired of talking bad about the team. I don't
want to talk bad about the team.
Exactly.
We don't usually.
But you have to be realistic. The fact of the matter is, I watch sports because I want my team to win. I want my team to compete for championships. I'm not here to be the good Samaritan team of the league. I want to win championships. We have a bunch of great guys on our team.
I'm not here for the participation.
That's great. I want to win. And we're not winning.
Dang,
a lot of it has to go on Coach Flores too. You can't just forget all of this because he could have easily. He's just as much to blame in stunting Tua's growth as anybody because he could have easily came out, shut the narrative down. Tua's our guy no matter what.
Yeah,
but he didn't.
That's right.
Did y'all notice it was in the first quarter and Flores was hot after they scored that touchdown pass at the defensive? I guess the guy who was calling the defensive plays. I think he started the game out with not calling the plays again, and I just don't understand why he keeps doing that.
I don't know.
Man, you know what? I didn't notice that fact. I did see him hot, but I didn't think about that. Maybe he wasn't calling the plays.
Did y'all see a single cover zero like blitz? I mean, I saw Brandon Jones go once in the first quarter, and then after that, I felt like we got safe. We were scared almost. It's almost like we were playing scared from a coaching standpoint and from an offensive and defensive standpoint.
Yeah, Ty, we'll get to the other games in a little bit, man, because there was some other good things that happened on some games, but we're immersed in the conversing of how crappy the team performed today. It was pretty ugly, guys. I at the beginning of the game, I'm sitting here and watching, and it seems like those first few drives, especially in the fourth quarter, all we did was throw. It's like we didn't even try to run the ball, and every time we did, if there was success, I mean, how many times do we see today Duke Johnson get the ball either in a pass or something else and a nice run, and then he comes trotting off the field? What was going on? It's a wet, rainy game. What kind of game plan did they have here?
How many carries did Phillip Lindsay have?
I don't know, but a lot more than he had more than Duke. So what I don't understand is
Duke was averaging 7 yards a carry at one point. Why we stopped giving him the ball?
Duke got 7 carries.
Yeah,
Phillip Lindsay got 2.
I know.
Miles. So we ran the ball 16 times.
Yeah, well, if you guys looked at Tannehill's numbers, they only had Tannehill throw like 18, 19 times the whole game, and he had like 125 yards or something like that. I don't know. It was very low pedestrian numbers.
He was 18 for 38, 205 yards and a pick. He averaged 5.4 yards of completion and took
18
4
for
sacks.
38?
Yeah.
See, when I quit watching the game, and I'm not going to lie because I had to set all this up, I quit watching. I didn't even see that last touchdown scored when Gesicki booted the ball in the air and gave it to the defender. I had to walk out the room because I didn't want to break the television. You know what I'm saying?
Tua fumbled 3 times as well.
Yeah, that was ugly too. But his small hands had something to do with that. We mentioned that in the text. But
only lost 1, but still.
My feed cut out, and I'm scrambling to get it back. But yep, I didn't care at that point. I
watched the whole miserable thing, man.
Yeah, I would.
Christian Wilkins played good. He's about the only one. He had 11 tackles.
Dude, Christian Wilkins definitely was
for a
for
a defensive tackle. That's
absurd.
Great.
Yeah, no, Christian Wilkins definitely did good.
He played good.
Yeah, he did. He looked pretty awesome. He really did.
But that's about it.
We saw so many good things over this 7-game win streak. And then we talked about it yesterday, how like this is the moment when they just do something different and they just change it up for no reason. Everything's been working. This is the moment when we can show everybody that, hey, look, those of y'all that haven't seen us, we're still pretty good. And they went out and they changed up everything they were doing. I mean, Mike Gesicki threw into triple coverage. He threw a pass into triple coverage.
I mean, you lost to a team where their quarterback was 13 for 18 for 120 yards.
Yeah,
I know. It was pretty.
Foreman
pretty
had
ugly.
132 yards rushing. We couldn't stop him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely a name.
Not much else to be said.
No, not at all. Tannehill was like
he was 13.
That's right. That's what I said. But then that was like the last few minutes, and then he threw the ball a couple more times and only got a few. What's up, Cap? I didn't know you were stopping in. Yeah, I know. Tannehill definitely eliminated Tua from the playoffs. No excuses. You're absolutely right, Cap. I mean, if you really want to look at it, I want to say that if you guys watched the pregame show, we sat on here, we talked about Tua needing to rise up and needing to take this team, become the big dog that we need him to be. And all we've seen is the ball slip right out of his smaller hands in a wet game. He really made us look pretty stupid just now. And that might be the nail in his coffin. It's definitely
a nail in his coffin for me.
It's
me too.
I'm pissed.
It's a nail in the coffin for me.
So and Cap, I want to mention something that Cap said. He was talking about never hearing anybody dog Tannehill again, and that was for years he got dogged while he was here, but that was the point. Tannehill was always given the short end of the stick as Tony Romo was as a Cowboys quarterback. Tannehill did so many good things. I mean, the Tennessee is doing run game and play action, which he's great at. They get him out on the roll. He's great on the run. He's always been good at what he's good at, and now he has a team behind him and a coach that. I mean, obviously that coach Vrabel's proven he's better than Flores. So
he's got a real running back too. Their run game is
you're right, buddy.
But it goes back to what I was saying yesterday as well. Tannehill's not a guy that's gonna put the team on his back and win a Super Bowl though. So he beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins aren't a playoff caliber team. Clearly, we're not a playoff caliber team. The Titans defense is good. I said it yesterday. Yeah, they have gotten gashed, but their secondary is lights out, and up front they're big. So
listen, their run D was great up to this point. They were third coming into the day, as we said on our pregame show, and
they're big up front.
They're big up front, and they imposed their will. And they made Tua look like the smaller quarterback that he is, because it seemed like he was.
Vrabel is everything.
No, Vrabel's good.
Vrabel is everything that Flores wants to be. He has a game-managing quarterback with a good enough defense with a superstar running back. But the problem is they have the roster that the Dolphins want to build.
Hey, A-Name. You can
the way that we play our game is that.
Talk anything you want, brother. You guys won today. You're the better team, man. This is a little bit more of a free
for sure.
forum.
It's not even a question.
We don't fool ourselves. We're real Dolphins fans, diehards. We know with this team, we're looking more like the Browns, while the Bengals are looking like what I thought we were going to be. And how about them Bengals today, guys? I mean,
hey, hang on
from the ashes, bro.
Yeah, he had 11 for 266 and 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase did, and Burrow had another 404 touchdowns. But at the end of that game, I got to tell y'all, if y'all didn't get to watch it, I was watching it, and Burrow, they kept calling sneaks to run the time. It was genius coaching. They were able to run all the time off the clock, but they called a sneak where he wasn't supposed to score. He was just supposed to kind of get stood up at the goal line. Well, he ended up getting hurt, and Mixon was pissed. Mixon turned around and screaming and yelling at the coaching staff, "I told you not to do that." And Burrow ended up going out of that game. And, dude, his right knee, if that's the same knee that he got hurt, it was bad, guys.
He may not be
really.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. It was so bad. He was limping. He was trying to trot out and shake everybody's hands.
No.
Yeah, they pulled him out of the game. He didn't finish it. They at the end, when the game was over, they went out there to try and shake hands, but he maybe walked 15, 20 yards onto the field and just kind of stood in the same spot, bro.
Oh man, my buddy Joe, who's going to be watching the show later. Hey, A-Name, he's going to be tripping.
That's
he's a big fan. Yeah, A-Name. I don't know why they keep rolling him out to his right. I guess they think, hey, if we keep rolling him out to his right, he'll get real good at it. I don't know, man.
No, I think they're trying to roll him out to his right because they think that the defense is going to be so simple-minded. They're going to be like, Tua's left-handed. He can't roll out right. So the right's going to be wide open. It's just there's got to be better coaching than that. It's just that's anyone
it was subpar,
can see
guys.
That.
It was subpar today, man. It really was. Like Mike on the mic said earlier, probably Flo wasn't coaching this game on the defensive side.
Well, until later he got out-coached. It doesn't matter. You're the head coach. He got out-coached again.
Well, and I was going to say we have 2 college coordinators trying to coordinate an NFL game. I mean, they've obviously proven that they don't know how to run an NFL offense. Everything is the college RPO, and I get that you want to play to your quarterback, but dude, you got to get NFL coaches in here that are willing to push Tua past his limits, because right now everybody knows he's a decent. Well, I mean, we thought he was a really good RPO quarterback. He might still be, but you got to get coaches in here. They're going to push him past.
Yeah,
that,
but the R in there is run. You know what I'm saying? And they, especially early on in the first half when the game wasn't out of control, they weren't running. They were trying to throw the ball. It's kind of like they heard our show yesterday where we're like, we need to see Tua do 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's almost like they tried to make him into that guy. And then now the Titans can just sit back knowing we're playing from behind, playing into the game we usually play.
Think about it logically. If we, as Dolphin fans, were going into a game against an offense that was so limited as the Dolphins, right? Yeah. We would be so overly confident every time we'd play a team like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to think about it like that. Every game that we play, the defenses that we're playing against are licking their chops because they know that there is no rhythm, there's no groove in this offense. Yeah. The only time things happen are fluky plays.
You know, and to give Tennessee credit, Dupree coming back off the COVID list and Jeffrey Simmons, but that whole, I mean, you mentioned it yesterday, Byard, that whole defense, they showed up to play. You know, everybody, even my friend was like, oh, the Titans defense is terrible. And I was like, well,
I've never Kevin Byard, an all-pro. You're like, this guy number 1 wearing that white and aqua, I don't have to get.
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about that. He's not beating me.
Nothing's going further than 20 yards other than the 2 or 3 shots they took, which they connected on one of the big ones. So I don't know, man. It is a very limited offense, and I don't know, Mike. I don't know. I can't tell. Is it the limitations of the coaching staff, or are they calling limitations for their quarterback? I understand it's the offensive line. I get that.
I'm not even saying it's offensive line, bro. I'm telling you, the offensive line played good today. What I saw today was Tua cannot hit a guy on the run. He has no arm strength. That pass he missed to Isaiah Ford, all he had to do was lay it out in front of him. That would have been a first down, maybe 20, 30-yard gain. He can't throw the ball on the run. He has no zip on his ball. If it's not a touch pass, he's not going to do it. So the coaching staff is trying to get him to do the things he's good at. Well, then that, like the limitations we keep talking about, you start trying to ask him to throw downfield. He don't have the velocity. He doesn't have the mechanics. He doesn't have the ass in that he needs to throw that ball as hard as he can, because as hard as he can, it was dropping short of guys today. Like Tua's arm is I want to think he was hurt today, because I can't explain this away. You can't make up for this. You can't explain his way out of this. If you're a Tua stan, you do not have anything good to say about your quarterback today.
Yep. I like, as a person, I wouldn't call myself a Tua stan, but I would definitely say that I'm a very heavy supporter of Tua, and
he's our quarterback,
and the team sticking with him is my point. But honestly, man, I'll probably be on the other side of that narrative come the offseason, because that was dog shit ugly. And this team and organization and this fan base deserves a better performance out of their quarterback that we've made 1,000,001 excuses for. We've done a lot of stuff as far as even the team. I mean, as we're seeing the coaching, they've molded around to prevent games like this happening to him. And now I got to listen to Chris Sims. Thanks a lot, Dolphins. Now I got to listen to this asshole that I don't want to hear.
I mean, we can cut it.
Quick, before we keep going there, Kev, I just want to say, guys, please like, subscribe, share the video. Any Tennessee fans that are in here, I've got 2 Tennessee football cards that I'm giving away towards the end of the show. It's a Derrick Henry and an Eddie George. I got a bunch of cards. We give them away. We give away stuff. We had planned on giving away 2 Madden games, but the Dolphins lost. So now we can only give away 1. That's the way it works. Ennis, if you're watching, my man, get into me in the comments. I do have that Dolphins hat that I'm going to send to you. You just got to tell me which one do you want. Do you want this hat or that hat? Which one do you want?
I'd go old school, Ennis.
I'd go old school too, but this black hat's pretty awesome. So either way, Ennis, I'll be in here. You get in me with the comments. You let me know which one you're thinking and stuff like that. I don't know if you're watching. I'll be showing it again later. Go ahead, Kev. What were you going to say?
Go, Mike. You were about to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, A-Name, I'm curious, being a Titans fan, how did y'all see this game playing out? Were y'all even worried about the Dolphins? Did y'all even have any, reservations about the 7-game win streak? Because
listen, not to talk for A-Name in the comments here, and I hope he puts some comments in, but I did some scouting. Titans were not taking the Dolphins lightly. They weren't thinking they were going to walk through us. They were expecting to win, and as a pretty smart fan, but they knew that their defense, on the back end wasn't the best, but they could control it. And they had full faith in Tannehill, which is a lot more than we could say when we had Tannehill around here. And we're looking like it's looking pretty ugly for the Dolphins fan base, because here we were sitting on cloud 9 all week this week thinking, oh, my God, we lost 7 in a row, and now we've won these games in a row, and we're right in position to be somebody, and we're all looking forward to the opportunity.
I got around you optimistic, Fox, and you got me believing.
I know.
I knew who we were.
Hey, so y'all watch that Good Morning Football when he was comparing us to the TV show that your friend tells you to watch. You just got to stick with it. It'll get good, And he talks about how it started out so slow, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you what just happened. It was the Game of Thrones season finale to the season, because it was so bad and so ugly that I never want to watch it again. But, of course, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm going to watch.
I mean, we can cut it as many ways as we want.
Dang, they thought 3-point game too.
Yeah. We could try to rationalize it. We always do. The fact of the matter is, we're never going to be good unless we strike gold with a quarterback. We have no one wins with a mediocre quarterback anymore. I don't care who you are. This doesn't happen.
Yeah, so, and I don't know what they were doing to slow down the pass rush. A-Name. I think they were.
That's Mark.
Y'all
Sumter.
had some.
That's Mark Sumter. He asks, "What did the Titans do to help against the Dolphins' pass rush?" I don't know, man. I mean, they
established the run game.
They did. They did that outside.
They established
zone
the run game.
They did that outside zone run.
And they played to their quarterback strengths. Yeah. They got Tua. Tannehill out of the pocket. They had quick dump downs to running backs or wide receivers. The downfield plays were wide open plays to the tight ends for touchdowns. They just played to their quarterback strengths. They got him outside of the pocket and just completely nullified the Dolphins pass rush.
Yeah, they did. And I seen Phillips, getting sideline to sideline. I seen him a couple of times.
Made that one play. That was it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. But I don't know, man. And we said, look, you got to get up the gut on Tannehill, and Wilkins did on the runs. Didn't seem like any of that happened during the passing.
It's just like the Hurricanes, man. When the lights shine, these teams just aren't ready yet. It's just the Dolphins just aren't ready yet. They're just not ready yet. Period.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get at, is that I think they used their blocking tight ends more than anybody else against us all day today. And I did hear them mention that their offensive line was healthy, and I think that's how it all happened, Mike.
I guess that defensive line we've been watching with that zero blitz.
Well, and our linebackers got exposed as well.
That was my point. That zero blitz, bringing everyone up to the line like that.
Baker had the one sack. That was it.
They did, and
that was like the only play he made. He had 7 tackles or 8 tackles, but they were all downfield.
He was, but he also was downfield on that pass breakup.
Yeah, that one pass breakup. The guy dropped it though.
He did, but I mean, he broke it up. So I mean, it's not like.
Yeah, and I was going to say, A-Name, that the blitzing part, we covered that just maybe before you stepped in, but they weren't doing it as much. And I think the coaching game plan from the defensive side, I don't think Flores was calling the plays today, not the whole game.
Well, it goes back to the team's built to not only on offense to play with the lead, but on defense as well. We blitz. We play balls to the wall. We're not built to play from behind. So what happens is when we're playing behind, we know how limited that our offense is. The defense plays conservative because they know that our offense can't go out there and score 24 points.
So I got a couple of quotes from Brian Flores, and I'll get to more of the quotes from Tua and stuff like that later on. But I mean, it's coach speak, but I'm sure he's pissed. I didn't get to watch it. He says they did a good job. You have to give credit to the Titans. They had a good game plan. I think we did some good things early, but they made adjustments. We had guys out of gaps, and they took advantage of it. And that's true. That running game, it looked like Derrick Henry was on the field with
Deontay Foreman. Yeah, 100 yards.
Your boy, Mike.
Oh, my God, bro. Well, and he looked good.
So, and when they did the outside zone, and I was teaching it to my buddy that his vision. I can't believe he's a practice squad. He flashed in Houston, but he's been hurt a few times. But what he was doing that was so
he
great.
Got hurt again today, almost too.
Yeah,
no, he was all right. He was dancing.
He got dinged up pretty good.
But when on that outside zone, he was doing exactly what you're supposed to do. He'd go outside, saw the cutback lane, one plant, went up the side, and the lane was perfect. And that offensive line did a tremendous job run blocking.
Well, that's the point. Well, that's the thing. Like, for instance, last week against the Saints, they would get to the second level, and our linebackers were making the tackles.
Yep.
Arian Foster made a living on that outside zone game back in Houston back in those days. He'd get to the second level, and he was just bigger and stronger than the small guys. And we seen, listen, it was ugly because I seen my safeties a lot. And when you're on defense and you see your safety a lot. Of course he did, because all the plays were happening 10 yards downfield. He's playing cleanup, man. Poor freaking guy. So
it's 7 solo tackles.
Oh, man. A-Name says, side note, I grew up in Hollywood. I didn't know if you guys are from South Florida, how much I did hate when you bro, listen. We are all South Floridians, born in West Palm. I've never lived anything north than like St. Augustine area.
I live down here now.
I'm in Texas.
He lives in Texas. I'm in Cape Coral right now. We stick around here, brothers, most part. And all right, I got some
great Orange Bowl stories.
Oh man, so do I, dude. I got one with me. We're gonna do the fandom origin stories over the summer and stuff like that. It's gonna be great. But I got some good Orange Bowl story. First game I ever went into with my dad, my grandpa. We got into a fight in the Orange Bowl with Bills fans. So I'll tell you guys that story. It was a pretty good one. It was a good one. It says, Flores, look, anytime you don't have the performance you're looking for, you are disappointed. But this group is going to stick together, support one another, get back out there tomorrow, make corrections, and prepare for the big game next week. Dude, that sounds like a loser personality right there. And I love Flo. I know that's just coach speak and stuff like that. So I don't want to, diss Flo. I love him as a coach.
But it's like how can you realistically come out and say, you know what, it's going to be okay. We just got absolutely dominated in our most important game of my career. It's going to be fine.
I know, man. It's not that good. They asked him about that no call on Devontae Parker that we seen. It was an ugly call.
That was bad. No call.
Flo said he didn't see the hook, and that's his call. That call and the no call.
I mean, he didn't see the hook and that he tackled him.
He tackled his ass.
Not only that, but even a more egregious call was the tackle made on Isaiah Ford. He damn near hooked his helmet off of him.
Well,
he didn't even touch his helmet though.
No, he got underneath him. He got underneath it, and then on the after the tackle was already made, he did kind of touch his face mask, but that was a legal tackle. Yeah. Still a legal tackle though.
So they touched on the rain a little bit, which reporters love to tee up coaches when you take a beating like this, especially when there's weather. They're like, "Hey, so was the rain a factor?"
Was weather a factor?
Yeah, exactly. He goes, "It was rain. It was slick, but regardless of that, we have to do a better job of protecting the football. It's always a top priority." Yep. And look, they had the same elements we had, so they were playing in the field, the same playing field as us. And I mean, that's exactly what I would say to a situation like that. I didn't see them turn the ball over.
Everybody wears the same damn cleats. Plays with the same ball.
Bad, man. It was bad. Even Gesicki, kicked one up in the air, which we've seen him get lucky with some stuff like that, trying to play the ball after he misses.
I don't know if he did that on purpose.
I know, right? Like he goes, here's a free football. I don't know, man. It was a pretty ugly
On another note, is Tennessee? Did they?
They have the one seed right now.
Oh yeah,
but so I want to ask you: Are they true one seeds, or is it because they played us?
Well, no, they're the one seed because that's what the record lies. Right?
Yeah. But do you think that they're going to be? Can they make noise? Yeah, I saw that game. Can they make noise in the playoffs?
Are you kidding me?
Derrick Henry's supposed to come back.
Yep.
Listen, if by some way they can win next week and not play Derrick Henry because he's
I'll be right back.
scheduled to be coming in. No problem, bro. He's scheduled to be coming in. If that happens and they can then march out Henry in the playoffs, I'm picking them for the Super Bowl. Because if Henry can get back to what he was doing earlier this year, I'd love this. And I've said this for a while. Get Derrick Henry healthy in the playoffs. Good luck stopping that guy. He's a freak of nature, bro.
He showed us. Yeah, he showed us the 250-yard game, I guess, last year or something like that. But Mark, to your question, I think the Titans fully healthy really are that good because I refuse to believe our defense is as bad as it looked today.
Well, I said on another podcast before we even started this podcast, I said that in the AFC, I see the Bills and the Titans in the championship game, honestly. But that was back when Derrick Henry was just mauling people and that team was looking that way. Now I believe it even more if they somehow get him ready, stuff like that. I'm going to bring on Cap for Life on here. He hopped in. What's up, Cap? What'd you think of the game, brother?
Oh, my blood pressure after watching this crap.
Oh, my God, brother. I mean, literally. Go ahead.
No, this phone sucks, man, so bear with me. Sorry, guys. It's just it's a mixture of a screwed-up phone and a screwed-up day so far, so it's just
I can't even show my face.
I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I don't get it, man. You got it right there for the taking. You have it right there for the taking. Right there.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to say the O-line this, the O-line that. Duke Johnson was popping 10 yards a run.
Yeah. They exposed those linebackers for sure, man. And it seems like unless one of the defensive linemen got a hit on the guy behind the ball or behind the line, they were getting to the second level, and then it took a safety or a corner to make a tackle on a running back, man. I have a name in here. He put up, we've had more injuries in a year than any team, like 90 different guys suiting up without Henry, Julio Jones, and Brown for half the year. And that ain't no BS, man. That team, the Tennessee Titans, look for real. I expected the Dolphins to win, not to win this game, but I wanted to win. I picked the win as a Dolphins fan. I couldn't pick any other way. But I mean, bro, I did not expect to get our asses whipped like this. I did not see that coming, man. Well, I saw us winning or maybe barely losing. Our other guy, Tonk, that comes around on the show, he predicted an overtime win, which I could have seen that happening. But man, dude, I did not see 34-3 absolute shellacking. It was embarrassing.
100%. And on A-Name and Cap, you mentioned it too. That's what I had mentioned in the beginning of this postgame show is that Duke Johnson, I mean, he was having a good game, but, we went down so quick. But even at down 10-3 or when it was even 17-3, you still have a chance to run the ball a little bit. And why we went away from Duke, I have no idea.
I don't know, man. I got to say, for me, we came out in the first quarter in the first couple of drives, and it was throw. It was a bad game plan. I don't know, man.
Yeah, the college coordinators showed their ass tonight.
Yeah, man, you're in a game where it's pretty much wind and rain, and I know you want to show the skill set what this kid can do with his arm, but this isn't the type of element for him to try to get cute. Just do what's done in December. Run the damn ball, man. That's all you need to do. You got 5 running backs on that damn squad. You're gonna tell me none of them couldn't do anything?
Bro, I mean, you're spitting the truth over here, Cap. I mean, it was in the beginning of the game too. Like, get some run game going. Get that RPO working the way it's supposed to. The RPO, run pass option. It's not PRO.
So on that RPO though, that it's up to Tua to check out of that run. And so, like, he's making the decision to pull it and not run it as much. In an RPO, he has the ultimate option. I'm going to either run it, I'm going to pass it, or I'm going to I guess it is. It's in there. I'm going to run it or pass it. But he, he's the one that pulls it out. He's the one that makes the checks at the line. And Cap, you mentioned the coordinators want to show off his arm, and I want to ask you, what arm? I don't know so many balls were coming up short today that weren't even deep balls. They were just ugly throws. Man.
Yeah, and Cap, not to disagree or anything, but I mean, literally, it was either sailing or it was going nowhere. It was ugly.
Yeah. I want to say, and I want to be generous, that it was probably the win factor. And I'm being generous because that Mac Hollins pass was he's right there. He's right there for the first. And the ball went down to Jacoby.
Yeah, I hear you,
bro.
Know
what I mean? It just went down to Jacoby rabbit hole, man. And you get Mike Gesicki to throw the ball. You want Jacoby to throw the ball. What is it that you're going to give this kid one free game for him to just show us what he can do?
Chunky.
You're on the biggest stage, the biggest game of the season, and you're going to have a tight end throw a 25-yard pass, and you're going to have your backup quarterback come in off of a gadget play that almost worked.
Yep.
Yeah, that was so close. But in Tiny Titans fan, I think that fumble was a big one too.
It was a big thing. That fumble right out of Tua's small hands slipping the way it did really swung momentum. We never got it back on there. And one of the Achilles heel that we heard from Tua coming in is that when he tries to do too much, it really starts getting off the rails. And we saw that today. And like a Cap, and I was saying this in the pregame yesterday, that we as Dolphin fans want to see Tua grow into that big dog, that man where he could take games over, because that's what we remember that's what we see when you see like Mahomes or any of these other guys. They will their team, or at least even if they lose, at least they're willing their team. We don't see Tua do that. And I think they tried to manufacture that in this game, in a game that was not the right game to get cute. And here we are early in the third quarter and in the first half, playing trick plays, trying to get cute. It really went off the rails.
Here's the problem, Chris, though. The NFL, it's not always going to go on cue. Sometimes you're going to have to go crazy and get cute to get back in games, but the Dolphins just don't have the ability to do that because we are limited with Tua. It shows. It shows the confidence you have. You got a tight end throwing 30 yards down the field.
Look what Tennessee did. They kept it simple with the 12-man personnel. They were scoring with their tight ends. We were doing the same thing with Smythe and Gesicki. I mean, we were just overthinking things, man. You're gonna get cute with plays down in the red zone with those tight ends. Don't use them as a freaking. Well, what the hell was it? A wildcat?
That's exactly what I said. The tight ends are built the way that Flo wants to build the Dolphins, and they ran the offense correct.
Vrabel stuck it right back to us, and he runs the wildcat on us and did it better than we did.
Yeah, Vrabel had that grin on his face too, boy, and I don't blame him. I'd be relishing in if I literally took our scrap heap quarterback and turning him into a damn near Pro Bowler every friggin' year.
Hey, Tannehill's been putting up some nice stats since he got to Tennessee. Hey, well, honestly, his stats are always nice. It's just the wins never stacked for us.
Yeah, I know. Really put a hurting on us. Man. It really is.
It's a tough one to take, man. It's to give up a guy that goes to another team and then beats the guy that's supposed to be your predecessor in the process of winning your division. Ryan Tannehill's on cloud nine right now, man. Ryan
Tannehill's laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, man.
See, Titans fan, that's what we were talking about earlier, is like Duke Johnson was averaging 7 yards a carry at one point, and we just never stuck with it. We came out in the first drive, there were 4 or 5 passes before we even had our first run. Like, it was a bad, terrible game plan that these college coordinators they can't do NFL game plans.
Yeah, and I'm talking to Gio on the text messaging, and I'm texting with Gio, and I'm telling him, look, the running plays look good. I like the play calling so far. Right after that, everything went down south. They wanted to throw the ball.
Yeah,
and those type of elements, and they got bit. They got bit for it, man.
Yep, they did. They literally looked like they were trying to go, Tua, you need to win us this game. You got to win us this game. And that's not how we got here. That's not how we're going to get very far. It's almost like they scrapped the entire game plan that's been working on this team for the last couple of weeks. We've seen this team get this season back on schedule, and now we're sitting from being playoff hopefuls to being over here doing algorithms like we're a bunch of scientists going to figure out how we can get in the playoffs and hope on a prayer. And we're sick and tired. We're sick and tired of becoming, college professor math, trying to figure out how this team can push its way into the playoffs. It's been a long 20 years, guys. It really has.
Hey, Name, and we all love Gesicki. We don't know why he hasn't gotten paid yet, and he's been making a lot of people look bad this year. But he'd been he just disappeared for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So the fact that he had a decent game and our worst game over the last 8 games just goes to show he's either going to get franchise tag, but I really do want to lock him up full time for long term.
I mean, now would be the kind of time to really do it because it's not like his numbers are going to get worse over the year. It's actually going to get a little bit better. So I would
we got to
imagine
make sure our next quarterback likes him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Mark, thanks for jumping in. We thought you were a Dolphins fan too. I appreciate you being here, buddy. You just tell all your Titan fans to jump on. We'll take it.
Listen, I tagged the Titans in it too. I mean, I'm not opposed to celebrating on the, I always liked Tannehill in the same kind of way I like Tua. I would just like any of them to be great as a Dolphins quarterback, not as someone else's quarterback. And probably, like I said early on in the beginning of this episode, this might have stamped Tua's ticket because we're all over here watching, waiting for Tua to take the next step. And this was going to be the game he was going to take the next step. But he did not just not take the next step. It looks like he took a massive step backwards. And that's bad on him. That's bad on this franchise. It's bad on this organization. And as we've seen in the Chris Greer and Brian Flores era, this ain't about any one player. It's about these colors. So as pissed as I am, I'm gonna take a step back from my emotion and not be so angry because I know something's going to get done about it one way or the other, whether it's better weapons and better coaching for Tua or they move on from Tua and sink it into one of these other quarterbacks that are be coming around. And I know Tua-neers hate this. I know Tua stands hate this. I know whatever. Listen, I was expecting to see the Tua-nator out here, with red look in his eyes, with metal inside, like, the Terminator.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, bro. We seen him take a step back and those tiny little hands slip a ball out of it. No one was even close to him. And it was ugly, bro.
So, but ugly. And the thing about Tua is I'll stand by this. I still think he's going to be great somewhere. I think you put him with the Sean Payton.
I think he's going to be great in Carolina.
I don't think, yeah, today I've made my decision and I'll say it here first. I want to move on from Tua. I do not want to give him any more opportunities other than the rest of the season. And it's nothing against the kid because I'll say it again. He's going to be great somewhere. I just don't think it'll ever be in Miami because that's not the
Dolphin
type of
fans are cold-hearted, brother. We are cold-hearted. We have been diehards for so long. We're sick of losing. We want to be in the playoffs. I'm tired of my 17, 18-week football season. I want to stretch it to 20 weeks, and I want to see us in some games that really matter. I want to host games at Hard Rock Stadium or Sun Life Stadium or Joe Robbie Stadium. Just give me a stadium I can go to and root for my team that's in my state, for crying out loud, bro. I've been going to games and doing this. It's infuriating, guys.
Whoever can turn on the Cowboys and Cardinals game before they show this replay. This is one of the most unbelievable. I don't even know what to call it just yet. But I think it was a fake punt. They threw the ball, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the guy caught it one-handed, pinned it against the Cowboys' shoulder pad, and ended up keeping possession. And they're going to replay that. It's going to be a catch. That was one of the most. That was crazier than David Tyree against the helmet. He literally pinned it against his helmet with one hand, rolled it underneath him, never touched the ground, and got a fake punt for a first down. Hell of a play.
Yeah, I'm not watching it, man. I don't have it here on me. I got enough devices to watch it. I'm trying to run this last device right here. Friggin', I got a couple of quote, the media came in, they asked Gesicki, asked Tua questions, stuff like that. Gesicki, was asked, what's the situation like with the team? He says, if you're a competitor, you're disappointed. That's the situation we're in. I mean, canned answer, guys. I mean, we are literally going to host a game next week that almost is. What are we gonna? We're gonna play spoiler again. Is that what we're gonna do?
There's still an outside shot we can make it. There's still 2 playoff spots up for grabs, and those teams are only a game ahead of us. And if Denver happens to beat the Chargers, I haven't checked the score, but if they happen to beat the Chargers, then it's just a jumbled mess at 8-8.
If Denver loses and the Chargers get in, and we're watching Herbert in the playoffs, it's not going to look good for Tua.
My wet dream the rest. The Raiders beat
Raiders
Indianapolis 23-20. They was about to go to overtime. They ended up getting a field goal. But the fact that Herbert is it's a wet dream of mine still that never happened. I wanted to draft him after his junior year. I love the kid. But I was ready to roll with Tua. But if we get to watch Herbert dominate the playoffs this year, that's gonna be it's gonna make me not sleep very well.
So the reporters asked Tua about the weather, just like they do everybody when you take a loss like that. He said it played somewhat of a role, but at the end of the day, you go out there and excuse the plays regardless, or execute the play regardless, and we did not do. So I don't want to say we didn't do. I seen Tua not do that. It was pretty ugly. They also asked Tua some other questions. He said, it's never a good feeling losing. There's about 7 games we're not able to pull out and string some wins together, but it's tough. It's tough. It's never a good feeling to lose. It's talking about that winning streak they were on, but it's all for naught if we're going to lose this last game that we just did. And I know Mike was sitting over there trying to figure out ways to get it back in and get it back going, but I don't know, man. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I don't want to make the playoffs. Don't get me twisted. I don't want to make the playoffs because I don't want to get embarrassed. But I would love to make the playoffs just to say I can watch another Dolphins playoff game. It's been forever, man.
Yeah, I want to be able to hold up the AFC East one more time, man. We got so used to it back in the day, man. Give me the division. Give me one division win. I don't want to back into the playoffs. Give me something convincing. Give me something. Give me something holding on to hope next season. You know what I'm saying? Give me something, man.
Yeah, that's what we live. We live on hope in Miami Dolphins land, and we were kind of high on the hope there. We were realistic. We realized that outside of beating the Ravens, which listen, that was a great win, but the rest of these teams that we've been beaten. The rest of these teams we've beaten have been, second string quarterbacks. Some were riddled by COVID. And a lot of people were like, well, the Dolphins are winning, but it's fool's gold. And now I get to listen to all these pundits say, yeah, you're right. It's fool's gold. It's not a spot we envisioned ourselves here at 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Let me say this, though, Chris. With that being said, and I've been giving crap to Chris Greer and, ever since 2016, the amount of hits, the amount of misses. I mean, look, whatever you want to say about the man when it comes to his draft, that's one thing. But let me tell you something. The past 2 seasons, the amount of bodies that this guy has gotten into this locker room when COVID had hit and contributed to this team. Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of linebackers. We were complaining for linebackers. We got a lot of running backs. We were complaining for running backs. O-linemen, I'm still waiting for that one to hit. Yeah. But damn it, man. I mean,
the O-line didn't do too bad today, though, and considering the deal with it. Dude, their D-line's good.
I was going to say, there was one play. There was one play, too. It had like 6 damn seconds to throw the ball in the pocket. He didn't even have to move or nothing. He was in the pocket. That was the best O-line play.
You saw that one, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, bro. And then I see he went back to the bench, threw his helmet down, got into a rant, and then I think later on in the game, freaking Flores started ripping him a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Mark
Tua
asks a question. He says, it seemed like Tua was highly accurate in the short game. Did the weather affect him that much? I mean, they did say here that he said the weather was a factor, but not like anything else, even though we saw the ball literally slip out of his hand. So it obviously.
They overthought it. He overthought it. Ryan Tannehill didn't have a problem with the ball.
No, he did not. No, he didn't. And obviously, and I said this before, the one thing I believe Tua possessed outside of all the obvious things was the ability to rise to an occasion where when the light is bright and the games start to matter, he's going to rise to the occasion. And I not assumed, but that's what I had hoped, that we could get to the playoffs with a kid like this and have some blocking and have a little bit of offense with a defense that I've been seeing the last couple of weeks, because I think he could make some noise, because I believe he's that. But obviously, with all the pressure that's on and being, not optimal conditions, which, okay, everyone plays in bad conditions. It's football in December, that he took a step back. And that's not looking good for Tua. It's really, really not, man. And it's not gonna quiet any of the Deshaun Watson rumors. It's not gonna quiet any of the Aaron Rodgers going to be a free agent, Russell Wilson. This is going to dredge up. And even if we win next week, even if we win next week, guys, we might not still get in the playoffs, and that'll definitely make it. If we win next week and get into the playoffs, it would take him willing us to a win in the playoffs at this point, because willing us to a win to go nowhere next week ain't gonna work. It's just not. It's you need a little bit more narrative of keeping winning over hearts and minds to get us to fight. And I know there's a massive Tua following and Tua just fandom that are in love with him. And I don't consider myself to be one of the Tua people, but I'm not against Tua. I love him as a quarterback.
Yeah, man. I've been down that road, Chris. I've been down that road, Chris. You say one bad thing about the man, all hell break loose. Constructive criticism.
I'm not saying bad stuff. I'm saying real stuff. And if you don't like what I gotta say, then you're just lying to your damn self. And I don't lie to you or me or nobody else. So I'm gonna call it like I see it. A small quarterback tried to play hard, and he sailed almost every ball. The ones that he didn't, they sank. Yeah, we had a couple drops, and that's been the way. But I'm talking about today. What happened today? He looked like shit, and it looked bad. And the narrative that comes from everyone and in the Tua community and out is going to have a hard drag-out fight because of it.
No, I'm going to ask you guys this. I'm going to ask you this. Was today the day that he pretty much just sealed the deal on everyone ever doubting him being a franchise quarterback for this team?
That's exactly right. Yeah. I think, like we said that earlier in the show, Cap, that this very well may be the nail in his coffin, where the line that was kind of being erased a little bit between people who don't want to and people who do, we're all going, well, we'll stick to this plan because we got draft capital. We got a GM that I personally believe in. We got a head coach that I know most of us believe in. Granted, I think this offensive coordinators and stuff like that needs to be shook up a little bit, but we believe in everything on the team. It really comes down to Tua and his ordeal. And even over these last couple of wins, it's been a lot of quieting down, and now there's just no way that's a forest fire getting ready to reignite, and it's not going to stop till next season. And even after next season, whether we move on or stick with, this is a firestorm we're going to have to deal with probably for all of next season too. Because I'm waiting to end this narrative. I want to build the next part of the team. I want to win some shit. I want to know who my quarterback is. And here we are as Dolphin fans again in a situation where, like, do we even have a quarterback? The most important position doesn't look like it.
We don't.
No, we got two, so that means we don't have one. And I know, Mark, that I can understand why you don't want the Colts in there being from the same division.
As a Titans fan, I understand that. Keep out
well, the Colts are dangerous too.
I still think they're my dark horse. I love the way that defense plays, and they've got a balanced offense. I really do think they need Indianapolis if they get.
No, wait, hold on, Mike. You a Titans fan?
No, hell no.
There's a couple of Titans fans in here, bro. Got another one right
here.
Who's
a Titans fan?
Oh, Mark Sumter, he's in the comments.
A name and Mark Sumter over here. Got a couple of Titans fans in here.
Tiny Titan fan was in here earlier too.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Yeah. Much respect, man. You guys played well. You guys are doing it the right way. Much respect.
Yeah. Also, guys, I got 2 Titan cards I'm giving away at the end of the show. Keep in tuned. I'll just tell you now. Screw it. This is Derrick Henry, and I got me an Eddie George right here. This is an older card. Giving them both away to Titans fans, obviously. If you want anyone, you need to like, share, subscribe, and share the video on 2 platforms. That could be Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Tag me in them. I'm on everything. Find the Fins Tailgate. And then my emails, I'll put it scrolling. I'm surprised it hasn't been scrolling. Just email me your info and I'll mail the shit out to you.
Same thing for Madden.
I've got 2 hats. I'm sending one of these hats over to Ennis Campbell. He's over there. I believe it's in Tennessee. Hey. Ennis said.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ennis.
Go ahead, Cap.
Yeah, man. No, man. It's I want to see, like, you know, with us being the forefront of the spotlight right now with our situation. You know, I just hate to be with these talks coming up now about the draft and who to get in the draft, because it just seems to me like every year we're like in the competition of being in the draft Super Bowl, I guess, or whatnot, man. It's just, it gets to this point, man, where it's like you say, next week is what, irrelevant now?
We need to win and we need some help, but
yeah, I don't know, man.
There's like a very small percentage chance.
7% to be exact.
Yeah, there's a lot that's got to happen. I think there's 2 teams that have to lose and we have to win. So,
well, we have to win no matter what.
Well, yeah, no, obviously we got to win, but I'm talking like, man, it's a weird. I know that the Raiders have to lose, the Broncos have to lose, and I think the Chargers have to lose. So if they think 3 teams have to lose, next week, I don't know. It's literally like I said about 20 minutes ago, Cap. It's, you know, you heard me. We're over here whipping out the whiteboard, you know, writing algorithms on how the Dolphins can get in the playoffs, and it's bullshit. We let them blow it up. They blew the team up, and everyone's like, let's do it. They're like, let's take for Tua. We're like, hell yeah, let's do it. And here I am as a patient Dolphins fan making a friggin' whole show about the damn thing, loving it so much, and I got to watch a piss poor. Listen, it ain't the loss. I can take a loss. What I can't take is watching Tannehill beat my ass like that. This team just blow up, you know, get flags. It was just ugly at the end. It was.
It's always ugly. Even the wins.
Ugly.
Even the wins. Ugly. We should have killed the Saints. We put up 20 points.
That's right.
And one of them was a pick 6. You know what I mean? We should
Yeah, I agree, Kevin. It's getting hard to be. You know, you have moments through the season where you're excited and you're proud to be a Dolphins fan because their defense.
I knew who we were in London.
Yeah, I can feel that. Yeah, well, but
yeah, you know, hey, that's sad but true. That's sad but true. And I try to mind F myself a lot of times, but I got to the point where I was like,
I got this right here. My sister got me this. This is called a damn it doll. Okay, it's something you get and you're like, damn it. So. Now I gotta carry this thing with me all week. Now, thanks a lot, Dolphins.
I'm tired.
That thing gonna be in pieces by next week.
It ain't gonna look like my dog got a hold of it.
I'm just tired of at the end of the season being unhappy about what we saw for the whole duration of the season. You have a few moments through the season where you, like I said, you're proud to be a Dolphins fan. They're playing good. The product is worth watching, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the season, you're looking back on it and it feels like the same as the last 20 years.
Yep, it comes down to Chris's boy, Chris Greer.
It does.
Struck out.
I like
Chris
again
Greer.
No. I'm looking at this bad coaching staff on offense, offensive line coach, 10 different friggin' offensive coordinators. Well, I got to blame Chris Greer because it is his job, but obviously Chris Greer needs to go to Flo and say, hey, Flo, I'm sorry, man.
Hey, let me ask you a question. If someone doesn't put the salt on the fries at McDonald's, who's ultimately ends up getting the blame? The manager.
I agree, but if the guy that's putting the salt on the fries say, I don't want salt.
Well, that's because the manager hired a blind guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't know what salt, what's pepper.
You lost me with the blind guy, dog. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
you gotta have fresh fries, bro.
Yeah, I got that. But the guy who's making them says no salt, please. That's what he did.
Now,
and granted,
that's what the Dolphins' offense is: no salt fries, boring ass fries.
Yeah, that's what we got. We got a saltless fry of a team, guys.
Yeah. Do you keep the cooks? Do you let Flores write out his contract?
Those fries taste good with no salt, though.
I think you do have to let Flores finish his contract because I think we're going to get another quarterback, and I think you got to get.
Yeah.
I think 2 more years, just 2 more years of, or not even 2 more years, just give him another year, but go get another quarterback.
One more.
Yeah, just one more. Go get him. Get him. Go get him a
because
durable.
next year is going to be the same thing no matter what quarterback we have. It's going to be all defensive-minded, control the clock, the same
we've seen
bullshit
Jimmy
we've had.
do that to Dan, and nobody liked that. Watching Jimmy handcuff Dan Marino.
Yeah, but
ugly.
we don't have a Dan Marino. It's different.
Exactly.
That's like back to what I was talking about the other day.
Here,
we don't have that guy that the other team looks at like, damn, we got to stop him today. We don't.
All right, so guy. How about this, guys?
Joe Burrow.
I know, right? Joe Burrow, man. That pisses me off that I look at the Bengals surpassing the Dolphins as one of the best teams when it should be us in there.
It's because they bought into the times. They realized that if the only way we're going to compete
the Dolphins
is
tried to trade
plays
for Burrow
down the field and score 38 points a game.
Listen, it's common knowledge that Chris Greer threw everything and the refrigerator in for the number 1 pick. They wanted Burrow.
Everyone wanted Burrow because they
I know, but from what I understand, they lined up every first-round pick, every second-round pick, and were willing to get like 2 players. So, but they didn't even listen to him. So, and I don't blame them because look at them. They got a Burrow and they got him in a rookie contract.
That's why you don't listen.
That's exactly right. But okay, so let's talk a little hypothetical here then, guys. Aaron Rodgers is open market. So is Russ and Deshaun Watson. You know, he's got a love affair with the Dolphins anyhow, and the Texans are willing to trade the same cost as everyone else it would cost. Who do we go with and why? We'll start with you, Cap.
Well, we're getting reports down here, man, from other platforms that the Texans might not be interested in trading within the AFC. Even though Watson holds the cards to where he goes, they're not going to help in the process. So, we need to have a contingency plan. There's no doubt about this now more than ever. We need to have
that. I like that.
Now the problem is, do you invest that 1 year if Aaron does decide to come down here? But from what I hear, he wants to go to San Fran. Russell Wilson, he's going to have the same issue if he comes down here with no O-line help.
That's true.
So,
yeah, but we've seen Russell shine bright when the spotlight's on, and Russell's a top 10 quarterback.
Russell also had Marshawn Lynch behind him at all times.
Yeah, but we've seen what Russell can do. What about you, Mike? If one of these 3 quarterbacks are all available, the cost is what it cost, and we'll get into logistics of why it costs such an amount. But go ahead, Mike. Who are you thinking as far as the best?
Obviously, I want longevity of a career, so I'm going with Deshaun Watson just because of his age and honestly, he took a year off of football. So I just think that if I'm with Ross, he's 81 years old. He wants a championship as bad as any of us. He owns the damn team. Deshaun Watson, I think, gives us a better chance of winning over the next 2 to 3 years. Aaron Rodgers is a 1-year fix, maybe 2-year fix, but he's going to start declining eventually. Russell Wilson, he hasn't proved he can throw the ball.
I know. That's the thing. Is he, though, or is Aaron Rodgers going to do it for 5 more years and look like Aaron Rodgers for 5 more years?
If he does, the amount of money Rodgers is going to require is going to be way more than what we're going to have to give up right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I don't look at the cap money with the cap that we got. So money can't be the option because we can afford any one of these guys.
Well, I still think,
but we can do like how what it's going to cost to get Deshaun Watson. Or what it's going to cost to get. Is Aaron Rodgers still under contract through next year? I can't remember.
That was a 2-year deal.
It was a 2-year deal. So I think he's got the option next year. That's it. So I think he's almost like a free agent. I don't know.
Let's just call a spade, though. None of them. Why would any of them want to come to Miami right now? Which one of those quarterbacks is like, you know what? I'm watching this game. I could really gel in that system.
Well, we know it was Deshaun Watson that said that.
Yeah, and my mindset is if Watson did come here, I think it would have that Tom Brady trickle down effect where people would want to come down and follow for the cheap. That's just me. But if Tampa Bay can do it and microwave it, what's wrong with trying to microwave it and do it down here?
Well, with a young guy like Deshaun, you're not microwaving anything.
I think the clear answer, if we have a choice, is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
take Aaron Rodgers will have that effect more than anybody. Aaron Rodgers comes, he's going to get the guys that are going to come play with him for 2 or 3 years in Miami. You know what I mean?
Well, and I want to ask the same. with Aaron Rodgers, Chris just hinted on this. He needs a place where he's happy, and if he comes down here and has to deal with this bullshit, is he going to be happy?
Listen, no matter what, no matter which one of those three, no matter which one of those three, you have to completely change your whole system and just let them kind of do their thing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that would be the dream, right?
You can't try to fit them into your system. You build a system around the way they play.
This offense is ugly right now. That's why I'm kind of hoping for like an Aaron Rodgers type, so then he can be the pseudo Dan Marino, where he can then say, F this crappy offensive plan. Screw all this. I'm winning a game. I don't know. I know Russ would do that, and I don't know. I don't know if Deshaun comes here, is he going to be a good soldier and stick to a bad game and do what the offensive coordinators tell us? I don't know.
Who knows if that year off has hurt him in any way, man?
That's true.
You know what I mean? It could be great for his longevity, but
it would be one
of the game. Everyone talks about the speed of the game. When you take that time off, and the speed of the game just even changes a millisecond for you.
I couldn't imagine.
That's what changes the pit. That's what changes.
I can't imagine Deshaun letting anything stand in his way from the playoffs. I don't care if he's even put on Detroit. He's gonna will himself to the playoffs because this is a bad publicity thing. And the only way to get good publicity as a football player is do what you do best and be a great football player. That would help his publicity. You come out and win and get in the playoffs, no matter what market you're in, they're going to love you. So hopefully, God willing, that all this stuff comes out, and a lot of it's misunderstanding. We don't know. We don't want to play into any of the victims.
But you also
he is guilty of what he's guilty of. The son of a bitch deserves to go to jail forever. So,
here's the thing, though. Like, you're also saying Deshaun Watson out of those three is the least proven.
That's
you know what I mean?
true.
What has Deshaun Watson really done? He lit it up statistically and then lays an egg in the playoffs, which is exactly what we want to avoid.
Well, isn't Devontae Adams going to be a free agent also?
Yeah.
They're going to franchise tag him. They haven't franchise tagged anybody since like 2005 or something like that, but they're going to franchise.
They're not going to franchise tag him.
It doesn't matter. The Dolphins don't go after big, flashy players anyways.
Well, I was just going to say that if Aaron Rodgers comes here, it's arguably the best supporting cast he would have ever had in his career. We got two, he had Jordy Nelson in Green Bay and
Randall Cobb.
And Randall Cobb, but he's never had a true tight end like Gesicki. He's never had a guy like Waddle. He's never had it would be fun to watch Rodgers here, but I still think I'd take Watson just because of his age.
Yeah, but if you got Rodgers, you got the money for Rodgers and for Adams, and you bring them both.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
And there's also
you draft. Well,
there's also the option of you pick up Aaron Rodgers in free agency. If they really do believe in Tua, and Aaron Rodgers says, "Hey, I'll sign a 2-year contract," they say, "Tua, ride out this 2 years and learn from Aaron Rodgers for 2 years."
Oh man, that would be the dream scenario.
That could be a situation, but that's totally. That's never been done before. Someone who basically has started a year and a half sit out for 2 more years because they realize, okay, you're not that good.
Yeah,
sit
but
down
and
then come back
over the mantle to Rodgers as a respect? If it did, he's definitely got the temperament to step down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Between his upbringing,
I think the only one he would step down for would be Rodgers.
Yeah, I agree.
Why not? He's definitely someone to. Rodgers would be great on this team.
You got to get the draft picks for Tua if you sign a quarterback. There's no question about that.
I don't know who's going to get what.
That's what I'm saying, right? After a performance like this, who's paying what?
I just
got
think
what 2 years left or 1 year?
3.
Tua?
3.
3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, 3 years.
What's he worth?
Tua has a lot that people would like. I'm telling you right now, Sean Payton would be giddy to have him over the crap he's had this year.
That's true. I could see Sean Payton.
I'm saying, what's his worth? What are they going to get?
It would be a first rounder. That would be
a first rounder.
I don't think you can get a first.
No way.
I don't think you get a first. I think you can get a second.
No way they'll get a first rounder.
You can't take a quarterback that's bought in the top 10 and sell him.
They got a couple of centers and guards.
They'll never get a first round pick for Tua.
Oh no, bro! What are you talking about? You just get a first rounder for Tua. You'll probably get that Carolina first rounder this year. That's why I've been predicting it too. I've been predicting it to that Carolina.
Because I would rather take the chances on a kid like Matt Corral in the first round than I would with Tua.
Yeah, but is he going to drop?
At least Matt Corral, you don't
Carolina's
know what
probably
going
to have
Tua,
the 11th, the 12th pick in the draft.
I think you're kind of hoping that Chris Greer didn't blow this one as big as he did, but he did. He blew it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Tua was Chris Greer's pick. If you want to know me honestly, I think I think Chris Greer positioned 3 first-round draft picks to spend them on a team and then go after Deshaun Watson in free agency. But that's not what happened. I think Ross fell in love with Tua the same way everyone else did at that halftime game. And
what a catch.
On draft night, he says, you're drafting this guy. Because if you look at that draft, it took Tua, then they took Austin Jackson, and then they took Noah Igbenogany. We haven't seen Noah. Austin's been pretty much a whiff, and Tua's looking like a pick that was kind of second-guessed. All of the draft picks in the first round after that point have been pretty damn good by him, if I do say so myself. And a lot of his picks, I know he was the Xavier Howard pick. Though. I know he's picked Javon Holland.
Here's the problem, though.
Raekwon.
They're pretty damn
that
good
first
picks,
round.
but they end up being pretty damn good picks for other people.
Say go Dolphins. Say go Dolphins.
So, like, what does it matter?
No.
What a cutie. Look at that red hair on that girl, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's absurd. I got another one that has red hair, too. Then I got a blondie. Say hi.
Hi.
Say go Dolphins.
Hello.
Yay. What a cutie. I don't know, man. If in a perfect world, Tua would just get this right and he would somehow miraculously take us into the playoffs and fix all this, because today really upset me, because it wasn't that the loss upset me. It was that Tua looked so bad that now here's our conversation. What can we do with this team that's chock loaded with young talent, with finally a good coach? What are we gonna go from here? If you ain't got a quarterback in this league, you got nothing.
Well, history shows that a move the Dolphins make is like
a stupid one.
Is like trade for like Jimmy Garoppolo or someone like that. Like trade Tua, or not even trade Tua. They're not going to want Tua. Just trade for like Jimmy Garoppolo or someone like Jared Goff, someone stupid that would just keep us in the same position that we're in. That's what history shows the Dolphins would do. So hopefully someone like Aaron Rodgers would be completely different.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that narrative to the history of the Dolphins is different.
It has
because of Chris Greer. But then again, maybe
there's only so many 14th overall draft picks you can handle before you have to say it's
here's
not
something
working.
I said a couple weeks back. If the only constant I've seen in this team for a while is the owner, and it's been scandals, it's been a shit show since he's owned it. Now I get it. He's given this team everything as far as buildings and facilities and done all this work to this stadium, and his philanthropy amongst the city of Miami is to be noted and thanked none the least. But if as him with his impatience, which we've seen him be over patient, or his wishy-washiness, I don't know, is his hand too much in it? I don't know what he needs to do, but he's next in line for the pitchforks and the torches running out of town, because this team isn't gonna, this fan base ain't gonna take it. We're having enough of this mediocrity. Give me shit or give me gold, please, bro, because this is just, it's the worst place to be in the NFL, is right here where we've been
here for 20 years.
20 years. Something's got to change. Somewhere's got to change.
Mark, to answer your question, the dire need right now is offensive line help.
It really is. If this quarterback had a better offensive line, if it had Dallas's offensive line, we'd be singing a different tune, man.
Yeah, I do think. And Gase was I'll never forget his eyeballs. They just,
who hired him?
Nuts, but that was Greer.
Who hired? No.
Who hired Adam Gase?
Greer.
Tannenbaum hired him. No, Chris Greer didn't hire him.
So Chris Greer fired him. Maybe that was a good thing then.
Yes, he did fire him.
That's the best thing Chris Greer's ever done.
He blew up the team. I'll give him. Listen, not for nothing. He at least had the.
You don't have to blow up a team that's already crashed on the side of the road.
Chris, I have a question.
He came in to tow the bus.
Chris, I have a question for you. You mentioned something, and I don't mean to stir the pot, and maybe we shouldn't, but you said we finally have a good coach, but what's proven we have a good coach?
Okay, you're right about that, but better than I've seen around here.
What is proven that he's a good coach besides your optimism?
Okay, well,
you're an overly
I'll tell you what's
optimistic
proven it.
fan.
what's
you
proven
think
it is
Ross would go after? You think Ross would go after Harbaugh again?
I don't know, man. I don't think I want Harbaugh here. And Harbaugh is
because you have to understand that Flo takes on that Belichick mindset, and Belichick's one of a kind. It's like the Saban effect. None of Saban's assistants can really get over that hump. It's kind of the same thing with Bill Belichick when you look at it, right? Romeo Crennel, Bill O'Brien, Eric Mangini, Flores, all these guys, they're like, okay, Vrabel, they're like, okay, but they can never get over that hump. It's because they take on that mindset that Bill Belichick has of the older mindset that I could just outcoach everybody. We have to bring someone in that's going to bring in this new age of flashy, swagger, attractive, like something that's going to change the culture as a whole. And someone like Harbaugh does that. He does. He brings a new age mindset to the game.
Wouldn't one of those three quarterbacks do that though? That we'd bring in if that would have happened.
I mean, not if we're still calling 7-yard out routes to Smythe.
Yeah, but I would hope that bringing in one of these superior arm talents. I understand why they're calling the 7-yard out routes to Smythe because Tua's a system quarterback, and I'm fine with the system. But I didn't see the system be played proper today. I seen them try to make him into Aaron Rodgers, and it blew up in our face.
That's the problem. I'm not fine with the system.
I'm okay with the system because I see New England do it with elite defenses and a system, and I get it. That was 20 years ago. I agree. I agree. He wasn't Tom Brady in the first 6 years. He was.
Yeah, he was. He's Tom Brady.
But he wasn't the Tom Brady.
It's like saying Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan when he started his career. He was still Michael Jordan. Everyone knew who that guy was.
Michael Jordan didn't come out the last pick guy in the round of some crap hole all on the triple. Yeah, it does. It matters a lot, bro. Come on, man. Don't say that. It'd be different if he came out number 1 overall pick, Tom Brady, and was winning Super Bowls.
Michael Jordan wasn't the number 1 overall pick.
I got that, but he was still Michael Jordan off the rip. Tom Brady wasn't. He had to sit. He sat around.
Who was Tom Brady then?
I'm not saying that. He's the the GOAT wasn't the GOAT then. He turns into the GOAT. It takes time. You got to win all that. And those first Super Bowls that they won were defensive oriented in a system. And I was fine with building it this long-term way because in my head, it would imagine to me that Tua, with his skill set, would be a Breeze type quarterback. And even Breeze early on wasn't that good. That's why he didn't stick with the team that he did. They wanted some more talent on the arm. But getting him enough time to grow into a system with the control would get you where he would then have a wealth
Drew
of
Brees
knowledge
also went to a coach.
Down.
Drew Brees also went to a coach that was taking on the new age.
He's offensive minded coach.
Sean Payton's a Hall of Fame coach.
He is
different.
I mean, but look, and when you asked this earlier, what do I see in Flo that tells me he's a great coach or a competent enough coach is, look, man, we've seen teams get off the rails and players act different ways. It's been pretty consistent with how this team responds to their coach. No, because listen, they just went on a 7-game winning streak, guys. So it ain't all shit.
I get that, but at the end of the year, it's the end of the season.
It's the same thing.
You're losing this.
No, I get it. We're still in the same time loop with this Dolphins. I agree. And it's not the time loop that the Browns are on because the Browns are like that level below. They're stirring at the bottom.
But how? I mean, we do the same thing as them.
I got that. We're stirring in the middle. I'm not saying let's sit at the mountaintops and go, yay, Dolphins. I agree. I'm pissed as hell. My point is that I think Flo, as the coach, has the ability to lead men and get them to follow him and work. I do think he's got a coaching hire problem on offense. His defense is pretty good. Actually, I think he's got a coaching hire all over the damn deal. They've gone too young in a lot of ways, and I'm willing to let this team grow as we have. But we're in the 3rd year now, and I don't know, man. I mean, it is a young team, guys, but it's bleak. It looks pretty fucking bleak.
So go, Mike.
I was just saying, and Kev, I want you to answer the question too. Is my whole point is like, it's not that I don't like Flo. Obviously, he's done some good things. He got the team playing the way they're supposed to play. I get that, and I'll give him credit all day long for changing the way this team used to play from before he got here to now. But at the same time, at the end of the year, we're still not in the playoffs. We're still not doing anything different than we've done in the last 20 years. So what makes him
a lateral move this year, guys? We won 10 games last year, and we're not winning 10 this year. So that's at the very least, it's lateral, and it's not. If anything, it's a step back.
So here's Flores to me is like how Randy Shannon was at Miami, right? It was players coach. It was the guys played hard for him. He could lead men. Everyone liked him.
Yeah, but Randy Shannon was a likable guy too, and Flo's very reserved and closed off and stuff. So
everyone likes Flo.
Yeah,
no one hates Flo.
Yeah, but I mean, Randy Shannon,
they're all the same thing. They're finished
Thanks,
500.
Thanks, A-Name. Appreciate you stopping in, man. Like and subscribe.
Well,
yeah, brother.
Thanks a lot. I can see the comparison when you bring up Randy Shannon, because Randy Shannon was linked to all the Northwestern kids back in the day, and he tried to make that system implemented in UM, and it really didn't work in his favor.
I was just talking to someone about it before. He had Bridgewater and Devontae Parker both going to come to Miami, and they fired Randy Shannon, which because he had to get fired. They hired Al Golden. They were like, we don't want to play for this goofball from the Northeast, so they went and played for Charlie Strong in Louisville. Because Charlie Strong had the Florida roots, you know what I mean? He had the guys, but it's just what it was.
Well, Charlie Strong to me at Texas is what Flores is in Miami.
Yeah, same thing.
So, all right, guys. Then what do we do? Do we blow it all up?
Yeah.
No,
we don't.
Well, that seems like that's I don't want to say it's the narrative, but it's not even 4 years yet, and we're still having all these questions this past hour.
It's the same thing.
Hey, the players aren't going anywhere. You blow this up, you bring in competent coaching, I think it's a whole different ballgame.
So Flo goes, Chris Greer goes, Tua goes, and we just slide into the new regime of something else. But then we will find ourselves continuing on this. Okay, there's not like there's a coach. Okay, maybe John Harbaugh could come in here and bring a lot, but then he's got to bring. You're right. He does have a coaching staff.
It doesn't have to be a big name coach, but like
it's gotta be. It's gotta be because when we don't get to the playoffs, it's only his first year. It's only his first year. Got to give it to you.
How about a running back?
Yeah,
like a running back that can run in December, like a running back.
Yeah,
Mark.
Someone who doesn't look like Darren Sproles.
Mark, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate your input.
No, but what I'm saying is look at someone like Zach Taylor that the Bengals brought in. He's not this prolific coach, but he brings in a new age offensive mind. That's what you have to bring in.
He was on our team. He was here.
Quarterback coach, yeah.
He was our
I'm saying you bring in a mind that is getting full reins of being able to.
Isn't Charlie Fry supposed to be our Zach Taylor right now? So what we'll do is we'll let go of guys like Charlie Fry. He'll go somewhere, get an offensive coordinating job. Next thing you know, we're watching him, I don't know, take the freaking
He'll take
Minnesota
over the job at the Titans
He'll take over the job
or the Texans, and the Texans will end up having a great offense. So why we have to bring someone in to change the mindset.
Have to be cursed? We watch our talented coaches, our talented players go and have success everywhere else.
It's because the system in place we have sucks.
What system? We get different coaches and different regimes.
The culture as a whole.
It's the owner. So it's the owner.
Just vanilla. It's
the only constant that I said. It's the owner. He has to have a specific type of guy, maybe, that he can control. Is it his wishy-washiness?
We just play vanilla-ass football, man, and we have for 20 years.
Why though?
Well, it's the owner. I think that was my next question. Is are we going to be stuck in this perpetual cycle?
Have to put the blame somewhere.
So there's a guy. So the guy Big Cat, Big Cat from Barstool is on Twitter right now with probably like 4,000 people talking about Tua's not the guy. What's next? So they're all talking about it.
Yeah, and that's why
everyone's talking about it.
That's my thing, though.
It's like, okay, so
are we going to be stuck in this perpetual circle of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, or are we going to until Ross leaves?
Well, how many coaches have we gone through since Ross has been the owner? We've gone through how many coaches? 5?
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. Like Ross has to sell this team.
Who was his first coach?
We all lost the same way. With each coach, we've lost the same way, except for Saban hauling ass, but that was with Huizinga.
Who was his first coach? Who's the first coach he hired? Was it Wannstedt?
No, his first coach he hired was Sperano.
Oh.
Remember, he brought in the big tuna, and he was the czar, and he wiped everything out, and Sperano was his guy. But what happened when Sperano got in here? Stephen Ross limited him, and before long, when Sperano built a team that they liked, it wasn't the offense that we wanted, but it was a team that took us to the playoffs. And not a year and a half after the playoffs, him and his wife and everything is feuding with the owner, and he's on the plane ride home. It's a famous story around in Miami about how they treated Tony Sprono on the way out. And granted, Tony Sprono wasn't a head coach mind and wasn't some great thing. It's not like he went and did great things.
R.I.P.
But that same, God bless, R.I.P. to but it was the same thing that happened to him. It was clipping him off, talking behind his back, looking for John Harbaugh. That was what it was. He was shopping out Tony Sprono's job before he fired him to John Harbaugh. And that kind of same scandalousness that is okay in the business world, guys. I mean, let's get real, especially a friggin' real estate broker and builder like him. That's how you snag someone's property out from underneath them. That's how the business is done. Well, maybe that's just poisoned people from coming to Miami. And look, I said this after the win, I can't remember how many times in this regime, with this owner and now with this regime, where the Dolphins have sat in the fourth corner as Dolphin fans, and we're kicking our feet up going, we're winning this game. Even back in the day with these other coaches, we would beat the teams we're supposed to beat, but we would barely beat them. It was like a trick play and stuff like that. These last couple of weeks, we beat that ass in some ways. Not the way we should have, especially against the Saints. We should have dogged them. But I believe in Flo, and I believe in Chris Grier. I'm just wondering how much this owner is really hindering this team at this point, because I don't know what's going on, but he seems to be the only constant left.
So, and real quick, I'm going to be jumping off, guys, but I just want to say one thing. It's fins up till I die, no matter what. I will support Flores. I will support Grier. I will support Tua, because they are part of the Dolphins organization right now. If they're not here, then I won't support them anymore. But I'm going to support this team. Today sucked terribly, but at the end of the day, I'm still my Miami Dolphins fan. They're still my favorite team, and we got to hold hope that it's going to get different, but something's got to change. And if it starts at the top, it starts at the top, but something has to change.
It has to start at the top.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like they already have the predecessor in place. Like once Ross is out, they already got his partner's going to be the owner right after that. So the cycle has to change somewhere within that realm.
Yeah, but Ross is the kind of guy that his word is at the end of the day, it's what matters. And maybe this new guy will be able to listen to some of the, just the people you bring in to do the job that you're not really supposed to do. You let them do their job. But guys, I just want to say thanks, man.
All right, Mike. See you later, brother.
Yep, later.
See you, bro. Yeah, it's bleak for Dolphins fans right now. It sucks. We hate this type of feeling. It's never fun. I can't take it, man. All right, but I'm going to go over one last time. I'm going to go ahead and close this show up, guys. We will be doing other shows this week. Cap, be sure to come back in, stay in touch. We got some betting shows coming up. Kev and Brandon, the bookie, will be doing their show. Drop the mic, all that stuff. Guys,
come on, join by.
We are giving away this week Madden for either whatever game console you have. And we'll get the digital code for it. You could download it on whatever game console you got.
So we're gonna wait for whoever the winner is. We have to figure out what system you got, and then we'll buy it then.
That's right. We're giving away Madden. The way you're gonna have to win it, I will discuss on tomorrow's episode. I'm gonna do a breakdown like I always do. Also, guys, we have 2 cards we're giving away this week. It is Derrick Henry and it is Eddie George. They're both in mint condition. I will mail them to you. The way you win those cards is you like, share, subscribe, share the video to 2 different social medias. Hit me up in the email. It's at the Fins Tailgate on Gmail. Everything is the Fins Tailgate all over the place. You could find us. The cards are yours. I do have, some swag in the coming up weeks I'm going to be giving away. There's a lot of shows we're going to do between now and whenever we stop doing them, because we're too damn old. So we will give stuff away. Stay tuned for to learn how to get the Madden game tomorrow. Cap, thanks a lot, man, for stopping by,
man,
brother. I really appreciate it, man. Anytime, the door's always open to you, Absolutely. Cap. You know that, doggy. As Cap will tell you, as he is a recipient of a Dolphins ticket, I love to be charitable and have fun with my Dolphins brethren, and he's seen how we get down and party down over there at the tailgate party that never stops. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you guys next time.